government is determined to continue to fund all development projects. Political parties urge to support women participation in politics. Political parties urge to support women participation in politics. Good evening, I am Teddy Mparanyanga. You can also follow us live via our YouTube channel, TBC Online, and also get all the latest news through our Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter pages at TBC Online. Prime Minister Kassim Majaliwa says President Dr. Samia Suluhu Hassan is determined to continue to provide funds for the implementation of various development projects, including health and education, in order to move the important social services closer to the people. The Prime Minister made the remark while visiting Namtumbo District Hospital in Ruvuma region to check the implementation of the instructions he gave on October 18, 2022, when he visited the hospital. He was not satisfied with the quality of the doors installed and ordered them to be removed. Here's Nasa Kingo with more details.
Prime Minister Kassim Majaliwa says he's satisfied with the improvements that have been made so far, whereby a total of 67 doors out of 84 have been removed and replaced with new quality ones. It is very important for us leaders of various departments to provide service to the people. The funds being used here is taxpayers' money. It is worth $1.5 billion. The message here is that the citizens should see their taxes are doing something tangible, that the buildings are of high quality. Here, he emphasizes the heads of departments in all councils in the country to fully manage the implementation of all development projects. This hospital has received 4.2 billion shillings from the government. I will be the first person to defend Chama Cha Mapinduzi CCM and ensuring that CCM manifesto is implemented by the government. And so I urge you, civil servants, everyone should execute their responsibilities with professionalism and diligently, so that the projects may be of high quality and long-lasting. Prime Minister Kassim Majaliwa also laid a foundation stone for the construction of the girls' secondary school, which will be named after Dr. Samia Suluhu Hassan. The hospital is located in the Namtumbo district. Mr. Majaliwa asks the contractors to ensure that they complete the construction within the scheduled time, so that they can start receiving Form 5 students from July 2023. 4 billion Tanzanian shillings is being used for the construction of classrooms, teachers' houses, and students' hostels. This will be a school for female students. They will be sleeping here. This school is expected to have more than 1,000 students. First, the hostels, which are complete, will have 600 students, and other 4 hostels will hold 480 students. This project is implemented in 2 phases at a cost of 4 billion Tanzanian shillings through the Secondary Education Improvement Project. The first phase started in April 2022 and is expected to be completed at the end of January this year at the cost of 3 billion shillings. Nasa Kingu, TBC News.
Thank you very much, Nasa Kingu. Moving on to the next news, women leaders of registered political parties congratulate President Dr. Samia Suluhu Hassan for lifting the ban on political rallies and urge political parties to convene meetings that promote democracy and create an environment that will attract women to enter into politics. Here's the report prepared by Henry Mabumo, read by Father Ngaga.
It is a group of women leaders of 19 registered political parties who have gathered here to congratulate President Dr. Samia Suluhu Hassan for allowing political rallies. Saumu Rashid is a member of the Secretariat of the Women Leaders of Political Parties. Here, she gives a word on behalf of the Secretariat.
Sisi wanawake wa vyama vya siasa vyote.
We are women representatives of political parties in Tanzania, and we promise, Madam President, we will cooperate regardless of our political affiliations, and we will be part of ensuring peace and tranquility is maintained. We are able to even be here and speak out our views because of the peace that we have. Therefore, it is our responsibility to maintain peace. Some members of the Secretariat have asked political parties to follow the procedures, rules, and laws of political parties to avoid obstruction and build unity that will help to build solid foundations of democracy.
Lile ambalo tulifanya tukafungiwa.
We have already recognized where we went wrong, such that the political rallies were banned. I urge all political parties to follow all the laws and regulations. If every institution does what's supposed to do, we will do these rallies in accordance with the law.
Wanawake wote ndio kiu yetu. Wanawake wote ndio hamu yetu.
As women, we want to see unity, solidarity, and love prevail. The President has done a lot. She has done a lot in the health sector, education, and others. Political stakeholders, activists, citizens, and civil society organizations have commended the President of the United Republic of Tanzania, Dr. Samia Suluhu Hassan, for her decision to allow political rallies and on her promise to work on the recommendations of the new constitution. Faida Ngaga, TBC News.
Thank you so much, Faida Ngaga. Moving on to the next news, following reports made by the United Nations intelligence analysts who have spotted suspected movements by M23 rebels in parts of eastern Congo from which they were meant to have withdrawn, the findings show that there is a continued uncertainty about both the exact status of the conflict in North Kivu province and the situation on the ground in the Kibumba area, which the rebels were meant to have left as of December 23rd, as part of a ceasefire brokered by East African regional leaders. To discuss more on the issue, we are joined by Paternos Niagira, who is a political and diplomacy analyst. Welcome, Mr. Niagira.
Thank you so much.
Moving directly to the first question. M23 has announced to withdraw from the eastern town of Rumangabo, but they seem to be reluctant. What is your reaction to that?
Yeah, first of all, M23 is a rebel group which need not to be trusted because since last year on November they had announced the ceasefire, but unfortunately there has been a crash moving on. So taking on the nature of the Congo itself and the groups within the Congo and the demands of the M23, I am reluctant to say it can't be trusted at all.
Okay, the international community seems to not have faith to the M23, and even the DRC army seems to not have faith. How much faith should the international community put towards M23 and their announcements?
First of all, it's not the issue of international community to put faith, but the issue of the Congo and all the parties concerned to put faith. But M23 is not trusted, as I have said. Since 2012, when the big fraction of about 300 soldiers fractured from the main Congolese military, still there was a lot of trends that putting down the discussions and the agreement over their demands on the social welfare and all such kind of things, they have never. Few, of course, yes, rejoined the army, but the rest formed the M23. So you can see it isn't such easy to put faith because day after day the demands change. Today is like the M23 is fighting for the liberation of the Congo while Congo was liberated. Before that and during the time of Kabila and the others, you could see some changes and some trends. So a lot needs to be done to put some faith on that.
Based on your analysis or your own insight, do you think we would ever see a day when the M23 will cease its operations?
It is challenging, but anyway, because what begins and always ends, there is a time it will end, but it will take some time. because the demands are at hand, and day after day, you know, these are a lot of parties coming, and they are accusing each other within the African continent. Some countries are just fueling the crisis in the M23. So it will take some time. Yes, I hope it will, because such kind of talks and such kind of a lot of demands from the international community, one day, I hope, if they play the cards properly, the parties which are concerned with bringing the parties together on table and discuss issues, I hope one day it may cease fire and it may end at all.
I hope so too. As you said, every beginning has an ending, right?
Yes.
If the M23 will ever cease to conduct its operations, would that be the end of violence and wars in Congo?
Certainly not. The problem of the Congo is complex. It begins from the first wars of independence, and after independence you saw the fracture which happened, and then moving from the Republic of Zaire to the Democratic Republic of Congo. You have seen it from 1962 up to 1996, there has been wars, actually 3 major wars. And the M23 today is a continuation of the last war, which happened on 1998 up to 2003. So you could see the first was to remove the Mobutu Sese Seko, who was believed and is believed, of course, to be a dictator, a butcher, who never cared about his people. That was number one, 1996 up to 1997. Or 1998 up to 2003, another war, which actually was a most catastrophic war. About 5.4 million people died, actually noted to be the most dangerous one after WW2. So you could see the trend has been moving on. Even today, still the problem is much than that.
Okay. For our dear viewer, and probably for others as well, if M23 will ever cease to conduct, we have discussed about the M23 and how we hope that one day it will be able to cease its operations. Can you give us a brief history of the M23 and how they consolidated power in the DRC?
Yeah, the M23, first of all, the word M23 comes from 23rd March. It was 23rd March, July 2012, when about almost 300 military from the Congolese, they defected. Actually, it was not a defection, it was a protest. They were talking about social welfare, so talks went on, and some of the soldiers went back on duty, but some never bought the idea of rejoining back the army. These are the people who came later to join, to form M23. So they are supported with a number of groups. And when you see, for example, Laurent Kabila tried to make a national army, a national military army, of which he was formed by almost 4 groups. The last group, which was the Dogos, they called the Dogos, these guys, young guys, who joined actually the military to fight about Mobutu. They were not properly handled, that's number one. But number two, there was a fraction of the Tutsi, the foreign group, of which actually up to today never cared some demands of which were brought by Kabila during that time when they overthrew him, and then Joseph Kabila, the son, came in. So you could see there are some issues piling on day after day from all these labor groups, of which today, when they are consolidated together with M23. But generally M23, 23rd March, July 2012.
Okay. Thank you very much for such an impeccable analysis and insight about the M23.
Thank you.
Welcome again, Mr. Patanos Niagira.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Moving on to the next news, Deputy Minister for Education, Science and Technology, Omari Kipanga, has ordered the opening of all vocational education and training centers that were being built in 63 districts in the country by the 16th of this month. Here is the report prepared by Ismail Buguda, read by Anna Mosioke.
Mr. Kipanga was in Mafia inspecting the progress of the completion of the vocational education centers in Mafia district. He insists that the centers will equip young people with practical trainings and knowledge on various fields. This will give a chance to all Standard 7 and Form 4 students who don't get a chance to continue with further education to build their lives with vocational education and training.
Commitment yetu kama wizara, commitment yetu kama serikali tulisema vyuo viko kwenye hatua za mwisho za umaliziaji.
Our commitment as a ministry and the government, we said that the construction are at the final stages and we believe that we will finish by January 2023 and we will start providing service here. It is the government commitment to Parliament that we cannot break. So I have instructed the Director General to make sure that they open so that Tanzanians can get service here. It should be noted that due to the importance of this VETA, President Dr. Samia Suluhu Hassan has allocated 100 billion Tanzanian shillings in the budget of 22-23 for the construction of VETA for 63 districts in the Songwe region.
On their part, district political leaders say the centers will be of great benefit to the youth living in their areas, and the knowledge they will get will also help to develop their areas.
Serikali inatoa fedha, shabaha kubwa ni kuona kwamba miradi kama hii inakamilika.
The government provide fund with the aim of seeing such projects completed and bring productivity to the community. This project is eagerly awaited by Mafia citizens as the men hope to finish primary and secondary schools and return to the street. When the construction is finished, it will give students who finish Form 4 an opportunity to learn many things. But people are losing their sense of patriotism, especially the manager of this project like this. With this visit that the Deputy Minister has made, he has made with us as a party to come to manage and see this project is completed quickly so that the Mafia community can benefit from this project.
Chuo ambacho kitawawezesha wananchi wa Mafia na Tanzania kwa ujumla.
This is a project that will enable Mafia citizens and Tanzanians in general to acquire technical skills. For our district, we'll have eliminated the problem of many students who completed primary and secondary school who did not qualify to continue with their studies, to have an opportunity to learn different skills, including business, administration, technical skill, and other issues related to hospitality and hotel management, something that our district has prospered due to the tourism sector, and we believe that youth will be able to work in this sector.
Furthermore, Deputy Minister Kipanga has instructed the Vocational Institute's management to meet in Dodoma early this month to discuss the best way to complete the construction of those centers after discovering flaws in some of the documents. Anna Mwasioke, TBC News.
Thank you, Anna Masioke. And moving on to the next news, improvements of substandard roads in Kiluvya, Kisarawe district continue to be rectified following the construction of 2 strategic bridges in the area. The following is a report by Joseph Chewale, read by Nasa Kingo.
Minister of State in the Vice President's Office, Union and Environment, Suleiman Jaffo, made an official visit to Kisarawe district and inaugurated 2 strategic bridges that were built in the areas that were impassable during rainy season. Inaugurating the 2 bridges, Minister Jaffo has assured the residents of the district that the government will continue to improve the road infrastructure in the district as well as complete other health, education and water projects.
Leo hii kata Kiluvya ndani ya muda mfupi tokea uchaguzi tufanya mwaka 2020. Leo tumeshajenga madaraja korofi yaliyokuwa yanasumbua wananchi, madaraja mawili.
Current Kiluvya ward within a short time since the election are held in 2020. We have built 2 bridges, Makurenge River Bridge and the Bumbulu River Bridge. Also, we will ensure that we strengthen the education sector where the construction of classrooms has been done, but we will arrive with the secondary school in Loganzira ward. In addition, Kiluvya ward for the first time has Gozi Health Center, and all this shows that the great effort being made in this ward.
Initially welcoming the minister, the Tanzania Rural and Urban Roads Agency TARURA manager in the district, Godfrey Mbena, said despite the completion of the bridges, there are other projects planned to continue to improve the overall infrastructure in the ward.
Ziko changamoto nyingi sana za barabara kwenye eneo hili.
There are many road challenges in this area, especially Kiluvya in general. Recently, in cooperation with the village chairman and the district head, we have passed this area and we have found that There are approximately more than 15 kilometers that are impassable.
Moving to the tourism sector, the Minister for Natural Resources and Tourism, Dr. Pindi Chana, says the government continues to improve the tourism sector by including the use of advanced technology in tourist areas. The move is expected to expand the sector by 60% compared to the period of the COVID-19 pandemic. She was speaking to the public and private stakeholders from the tourism sector in Arusha. The meeting aims at promoting the tourism sector in the country. Here, she insisted that the stakeholders should continue to invest in order to attract the number of tourists. Here's a report by Sachalela Kongola, read by Apasia Ringo.
Tourism in the country is reported to have increased by 60% after the effects of the COVID-19 pandemic. This follows measures that have been taken by the government to improve the tourism sector.
Currently, we have started to improve the infrastructure, and we are grateful to the President, Dr. Samia Suluhu Hassan, because she gave us approximately 90.2 billion Tanzanian shillings, which has been used to improve the helipad areas located around Mount Kilimanjaro. We have also purchased various equipment and machinery in our services.
The issue of resolving some of the sectoral challenges is also discussed.
We continue to collaborate with other ministries because some issues overlap, such as income issues, tax payments, labor, workers, and the occupational safety and health administration issues.
The Monduli District Commissioner, Frank Moisumbe, speaking on behalf of the Arusha Regional Commissioner, says the meeting is a good opportunity to analyze ways to improve the tourism sector.
It is a good opportunity as well as a good time to explain the things that we have seen that can improve the tourism industry. They say when they get more clients, you get good work and challenges arise.
Some of the participants of the meeting expressed their thoughts on how to increase the scope of investment in the tourism sector.
Let's take young people who speak different languages like English and German. Give them $50 and pay for their tunnel license to do business legally for at least 1 year. They say when you get more clients, you get good work and challenges arise.
Apasia Ringo, TBC News.
Thank you very much, Apasia Ringo. Moving on to another touristic piece. Tanzania is a country rich in ecotourism destinations. Our very own Faitha Ngaga takes us to Rao Nature Forest Reserves, one of the most magnificent tourism attractions in the Kilimanjaro region.
Rao Forest Reserve is located close to Moshi town, about 2 kilometers to reach entry gate. The forest reserve connects you with nature and is blessed with many attractions and services, including varieties of flora and fauna species found inside the closed canopy forest. Rao Forest Reserve has 71 variety of tree species, including the unique and endemic tree, Kilimanjaro mahogany. The fauna species found at Rao Forest Reserve include black and white colobus monkeys, blue monkeys, antelopes, dik-dik, among others. There are more than 15 birds found in Rao Forest Reserve, like African spoonbill. There are also variety of butterfly species found in Rao Forest, like the common mother of pearl and gold-headed forester. Tourism activities which can be performed in the reserve include nature walking, hiking, cycling, bird watching, butterfly watching, photographing and filming, animal viewing, research and studying, worshipping, viewing of the beautiful Rao River, and rice farm tour. Welcome to Rao Forest Reserve. Welcome to Moshi Town.
Much Faithan Gaga, and that item concludes local news tonight. International news is up next. And here is international news with Faithan Gaga.
Uncertainty persists in Democratic Republic of Congo, DRC, as M23 group occupies new occupation positions in the Masisi region where several mining firms operate. Last month, the fighters announced they will be going out of Rumangabo and Kibumba as part of regional ceasefire agreed. So far, 3 towns have been handed over to the Congolese government, but the M23 advance in new territories is raising doubts about the group's true intentions. Aid agencies in Nigeria are under pressure as more refugees arrive in that country from neighboring Cameroon. The number of refugees is increasing because of the intensified fighting between soldiers and rebel forces in northern Cameroon. Refugees say global attention focuses on other conflicts such as the war in Ukraine, and many refugees say they feel that they are abandoned by the world. United Nations High Commissioner for Refugees, UNHCR, official in Nigeria, Abba Opoku Mensah, says refugees arrive in that country with gunshot wounds and burns. Reports say there are about 18,000 refugees in Nigeria fleeing fighting in Cameroon. 3 humanitarian agencies say they are running out of funds, and aid workers say lives of refugees might be more difficult if fighting in Cameroon does not stop soon. Tens of thousands of homes in the United States are without power in the city of California after Pacific storm launched severe flooding. At least 2 people were killed as hurricane-force winds hit West Coast. The storm caused toppled trees onto buildings and roads and knocked out power lines. The storm came days after New Year's Eve downfall that led to evacuations in Northern California, where at least 4 people died in the flooding. Violence has erupted on the streets of Cuyacani in Mexico after the son of prisoned drug lord El Chapo was arrested. Police say 29 people have been killed and schools have been closed. Reports say that during the arrests, 10 soldiers and 19 suspects were killed. In retaliation to the arrests, furious gang members set up roadblocks, set fire to vehicles, and attacked a local airport. Defense Minister Luis Crescencio Sandoval says 35 military personnel were injured and 21 gunmen were arrested. For the first time in 164 years, the battle for United States House Speaker has been through 11 rounds of votes in 3 days, and yet Republican contender Kevin McCarthy isn't any closer to securing enough ballot to win over a line Republican blocking bid. Another round of vote is going to take place later today.
And that marks the end of our news bulletin for tonight. I am Tbcnews. Have a lovely, lovely night.
Heri ya mwaka mpya mtazamaji wa TBC1 na karibu katika msimu mwingine kwa mwaka mwingine 2023 katika